Hey folks, Brandon Schaefer here, and I have open in Photoshop a few paintings here from John Carlson. Really great work, really inspiring to me lately. So some things I want to do here, just show you a few, uh, some things that I do to understand what the artist did, and just some tools that I use to try to improve my artwork here. Is I use the color picker. If you have Photoshop, then this will be a great thing to do. If not, then uh, you're going to have to use your mind when observing other artists' work. But hopefully this will just show you guys and kind of unlock some things that the artist does that painted this. So what I like to do is click on this, and it'll show you the whole spectrum from the very saturated colors up here all the way to the neutral colors. Now if I pinpoint a certain color, let's just go with this red here, you can see how neutral it actually is. With this being highly saturated, he actually paints something very neutral depending on where you pick it, which pixel you pick. That's probably the most saturated color in this whole painting. Even these greens over here are pretty neutral. You see they're kind of on the, they're really grayed out. That's what neutral is, just having it grayed out. And anywhere I pick on here, all these colors are pretty much neutralized. Very neutral, but the painting is full of color. So I can just pick anywhere. These blues, the dark colors, they're all neutralized, which is really nice. It's something I don't do enough in my work that I actually do the same thing to analyze my work after I painted it. I take a photo of it and just see how I did. I'm able to see where the colors are and what range. So pretty interesting. Also, another thing to do is to turn your painting or another artist's work into grayscale. Turn it into black and white. So now you can see what really stands out as the focal point is this tree, and then the secondary focal points are over here. And this nice little river coming in. But pay attention to the tree trunks. Even though there's so many different colors within the tree trunks, there's not a big value change at all. Like a little bit there, it's lighter than up here. But not much difference. But when you see it in color, it looks so much more complicated. But see, like a little bit of orange there, bright green, pinks, reds. But all of this is pretty grayed out. It's all neutral. It's all the same value, just about. Except for this tree is a lot darker, and it's darker back here. The ground is just about the same as the sky because there's snow on the ground. So it's very interesting to do this and see how he mastered the neutrals and the color tones, and to make it all work, even though it looks very busy. But it's a very kind of scientific approach, but very loose and free as well. A lot of knowledge behind it. So let's look at another one. This one right away caught my eye. The golds in here, very neutral. Even though they look bright, they look very bright, but if you turn this in black and white, you'll see that they kind of disappear. They get grayed out. Now watch when I turn the color back on, you'll see that the yellows pop out right in the middle here, and also over here they blend in right with these background trees. So check it out. So it's dealing with not just about value, but also the color. That's the most important thing, and this is really kind of a complementary for the most part. If you see these light grayish purple block of color back here, these trees, and then the little specks of yellow really stand out because yellow and purple are complements. So this is a great painting. Lots of color, little bits of red in there. But if you do the same thing you'll see that all of this is pretty neutralized. Everything is usually about in this range, very neutral. Even these yellows. The yellows are neutral. Little bits here and there, a little more saturated. If we go down to the grass, neutral. And then this purple tone back here. I mean, it's almost not even purple, it's gray, but it gives off the effect of being purple to me. Little bits of blue in there as well, you can see. So there's dark blue, there's a little bit of orange. So it's kind of a purple yellow and an orange blue color scheme going on. Very nice. And I have one over here of mine. As you can see, it's a completely different style, and I have a long way to go before I can get to something of this level. But it's cool just to do this to my own work and compare. And this is one of the recent ones I've done that I'm actually happy with. And I think I did a pretty good job making it neutral. Everything is very grayed out, the shadows, which is really nice. Not a lot of saturation. Maybe back in here they get a little more saturated. But this whole thing is very neutralized. Something I worked a lot on. But even then I could still add a bit more color to make it have some life, I think. And also, one thing you can do as well is compare side by side two different pictures. You don't even need Photoshop to do this. You can just take the images, open them up, and then compare side by side and see the differences between your painting and another artist's work, and see what you're doing differently, what you're doing the same, and compare. You'll see a lot of contrast between your work. Right away you'll see what's different about yours and what maybe you need to improve upon. But it depends, varying on what you're comparing. You kind of want them to be similar, but you can just see the use of color here. His appears way more saturated, but in reality it's not. So he gives this illusion of very bright colors, but they're all very neutralized. So I think he kind of mastered the neutral tones and creating an overall piece, and that's something that I have to work on. So it's nice to compare. And also I see that I compare a lot, I create a lot more literally of what I'm actually looking at. And you can see in his work, he kind of just, I mean, this block of trees back here, it's very just impressionistic. So he gives the impression, it's not about realism, which gives it life. Also this work, this painting back here that he did, I mean, there's so much color in here that's expressive, which just brings the piece to life for me. And you can definitely see the difference. All this dark mass back here that has no color, it's just kind of dark. And with this, even in his darks, he has a lot of color. So it's just different ways of going about it and learning and improving and comparing yourself to others. Not really comparing, because I don't want my paintings to look just like his, but just aspects of painting that I can add to my work and improve upon. So that's really what it's all about. And picking up little things here and there, like the neutrality, but making it work as a painting. Anyway, I don't want to ramble on too much in this video. I hope you enjoyed this little one, just to show you more about neutrals and critiquing your work and improving your work. So I suggest just doing this from time to time. If you paint portraits, just get another portrait artist that you like, or an inspiration, or a great artist, uh, and put his portrait next to yours and see what's different. See how he uses color and how the contrasts and how everything works together, and see if you're effectively doing that in your painting. Anyway, thank you for watching. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you think, and take care of yourself. Peace.